Hello and welcome. I'm Peter, and we're here to make progress, not perfection. But on that way to progress, we need to learn a little bit more about Paul's throw okies. And specifically, today we're going to take a look at twist and shout. Now, I already made a guide about Paul, and I included twist and shout in the key moves because it's so good. And you can find that guide up here. I linked a card. But twist and shout is an incredibly good throw because the oki that you get off of it is super fucked up, actually. It's incredibly good. So we're gonna dive a little bit deeper today in what makes this throw so good and what are the oki options that Paul can get out of it. So let's go. For the uninitiated, this is twist and shout. Down forward 1+2. This throw right here. So what makes this throw really unique is that when the opponent is knocked down, as you can see, they're at this weird 45-degree angle. They're on the ground, Paul standing up. And this allows Paul to do a couple of different options. All right, first we're gonna look at standing 3 in terms of oki after twist and shout. This is the most unrewarding, but the safest option that Paul has. So after twist and shout, if the opponent does anything here whatsoever, so I have the component set to guard all, and then wake up backwards. This is where they back roll and then they slide away, right? They get hit and then they slide away. If they do this, they're guaranteed to eat this standing 3. It clips them on their toes as they're getting off the ground. Same story if they do stand up. If they decide to stand up, this clips them in their toes. And any of the other options here that they choose to do, any of these options is going to result in the same situation. And just to show this, I'm going to show a couple of standard situations. For instance, wake up low kick or wake up mid kick. Since they both come out in the same, we'll see that this clips the opponent as they're trying to get up. If they do a spring attack, spring kick, you actually float them. So this is actually quite good. Even if they're rolling on the ground, this is going to result in them getting clipped, right? So this is the safest option, yet the most unrewarding. And the reason why I say that is because, let's say they're trying to get up backwards, right? This throw does 40 damage on its own. And this standing 3 here is going to tack on an extra 11 points of damage. So it's not a whole lot, just a little bit. But safe nonetheless, because if you mess up the timing, standing 3 is safe on block. There's nothing to worry about. Now, let's say that the opponent that you're playing knows about standing 3. They don't want to get up off the ground to take this extra chip damage. Well, what can you do? Well, in this scenario, you have a couple of options. The first one I'm going to cover is down back 2. If they just stay grounded, you can flip them over with down back 2. This attack is great. It flips them over and it hits grounded. Not to mention, if your opponent loves to press buttons on wake up, for instance, the wake up mid kicks, they love to press buttons, this is going to counter hit launch them. Same thing if they do wake up low kicks, they want to do that, fine. We'll take the counter hit launch every time, right? And if they do spring kicks, this doesn't launch them, but you get to hit them out of the air with this. The only option that this does not cover is the recovery kicks, and that's the little low toe kick that players have. This thing right here, this is actually pretty fast to come out, so you will get interrupted in this scenario. So we've covered 2 options now. Standing 3, this is the least rewarding but the safest option and has great coverage of things. And down back 2, this option for opponents who love to stay on the ground or who just love to mash buttons on wake up. Now for the third option. This is kind of an in-between of the 2, where it has some safety, but there's also some big reward options as well. And that's Paul's sidestep 3 after twist and shout. Generally speaking, opponents aren't going to needlessly duck Paul because, well, he's got this, he's got this, he's got this, he's got a ton of stuff that are going to hurt you terribly if you duck needlessly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the opponent to standing guard. And what you can do after twist and shout is sidestep left 3. And this is important. Sidestep left 3. Has to be sidestep left. After twist and shout, you can do sidestep left 3, And this will give you 17 damage tacked on top of the 40 damage that you get from Twist and Shout. So this is 6 damage more than the standing 3 that you normally would get. And this will reach opponents who wake up, back roll, or opponents who just stand up. You can do this. And what's really interesting is that if opponents are doing wake up kicks, oh boy, you get some big ass reward. That's guaranteed right there. Same thing if they do wake up low kick after Twist and Shout. Eat this. 93 damage total. Wow, so much damage. And if they want to do recovery kicks, that's fine too. We're gonna get that counter hit, and because we do a sidestep left, we avoid the toe kick, right? And if they do spring kick, this is one that's really wacky, right? This spring kick one is really wacky. I think it's because of how off axis the opponent is that they're not able to get the spring kick, or somewhere along the line the input gets eaten. Watch what happens when I do sidestep left 3. The opponent's set to do spring kick, but instead I think they did like a low kick or wake up low. You see that? That's weird. But if I do sidestep right, they do spring kick. This is something that's really strange. If anybody knows why this happened, please let me know in the comments down below, because I have no idea why this happens. And that's why I recommend doing sidestep left, right? If you do sidestep left and they try to spring kick, this happens. If you sidestep right and do a 3, you're gonna get spring kicked. So I think this has something to do with being off axis. It's strange. But nonetheless, this also, sidestep 3 is also great because it hits opponents who intentionally decide to stay down. If they want to stay down, you can do sidestep 3. This hits grounded. If they roll to the left on the ground, doesn't matter. This is gonna hit grounded. They roll right, this also is gonna hit grounded, right? And this is the key difference here. If you do sidestep right 3, it will not hit one of these, right? It's gonna hit that one, but it won't hit this one. See? This is why we sidestep left 3. So keep this in mind. I think this is probably one of the better options that Paul has. Now, I can already imagine what some of you guys might be thinking. Well, what if they wake up ducking because they know that after Twist and Shout, you know, I'm gonna go for this option. That's great. Now you've just given yourself more opportunity to do something that has more damage. Now you open up the games to this. Sidestep quarter circle back 2. They want to duck? Great. Be my guest. Go ahead. Do this? Nice. I'll take this. 61 damage. So this is kind of the mind game that you kind of have to play with Twist and Shout. Generally speaking, what you want to do is you're going to want to do sidestep 3. Sidestep left 3 until they start ducking. Once they start ducking, well, then you can start doing this into sidestep quarter circle back 2. And of course, if they want to wake up and press buttons, you got, you know, the down back 2 option. You still have options to sidestep 3. This will snuff out any of the wake up kicks as well. So I hope this helped you guys out in understanding at least the throw Oki options that Paul has after Twist and Shout, because this throw is pretty fucking good. Thanks for watching, guys, and joining me on this video. Also, thank you so much, patrons, for your ever so gracious support. Without you, this would have not been possible. And if you're new here and you like what you see, consider subscribing and hitting that bell notification icon. Below in the descriptions, as always, I also have my links to my Discord, Twitter, Twitch, and Patreon page. See ya next time.